Hello viewers, this is Sensor Suji with your Day 5 briefing on the Iran-Israel war situation. The most noticeable thing in the situation on this day was the movement of the United States. First of all, the Nimitz aircraft carrier strike group is moving from the South China Sea to the Middle East. The United States military corrected this, saying that the Nimitz carrier strike group is actually positioned closer to the Middle East than the location reported in the news. Several aerial refueling aircraft have already been deployed near the Middle East. It is also said that B-52 bombers have been deployed to Diego Garcia near Iran, as if they are trying to end this war. It has already been analyzed that the United States 5th Fleet is operating near the Persian Gulf. As a result, the United States is now in a position to attack Iran at any time. Trump's remarks were quite strong. He demanded unconditional surrender. This suggests that if Iran fails to engage in nuclear talks within a specific time frame, the United States might consider launching an attack on Iran. Above all, in the case of the B-52 bomber, if even a small part of the air defense system is still active, it cannot be deployed to the battlefield. However, the act of trying to deploy the B-52 bomber may be intended to put pressure on Iran, but it also seems safe to say that Iran's air defense system has already completely collapsed. The Israeli Air Force frequently flies over Iranian airspace, causing ongoing damage. Israel maintains total air superiority in the region. Iran is not in a position to carelessly fire ballistic missiles. If they launch ballistic missiles, the location of the launchers is exposed, allowing nearby Israeli fighter jets to fly in and strike them immediately. As a result, the Iranian military is growing increasingly reluctant to fire ballistic missiles. The mounting damage to missile launchers is eroding their missile capabilities. Iran has kept its nuclear program negotiating position during Israel's military actions. The Western world continues efforts to arrange talks with Iran, but significant differences persist, hindering progress. Some Arab nations have halted talks, claiming Iran isn't prepared to compromise in the nuclear negotiations. The Iranian parliament has started drafting a bill to withdraw from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Such a response seems like something that the United States and Israel could never even begin to consider. An Israeli official stated that Iran should have halted uranium enrichment before the attack, and by continuing, they have made negotiations impossible. Of course, some reports have said that Iran is willing to give up uranium enrichment, even for the sake of maintaining its regime. Given the lack of results, it appears Iran has no intention of halting its nuclear development. The International Atomic Energy Agency assessed that Israel's airstrike likely heavily damaged or destroyed the Natanz nuclear facility. The International Atomic Energy Agency told the British Broadcasting Corporation that a sudden power outage severely damaged 14,000 operating centrifuges. However, it stated that the Fordo and Isfahan nuclear facilities were not significantly damaged. Israeli airstrikes have significantly weakened Iran's missile capabilities. Reports indicate that 1/3 of Iran's warhead missiles and launchers were immediately destroyed. The Israeli military claims to have destroyed over 120 missile launchers since the operation began. On June 17 alone, Iran launched about 340 missiles, which is only 1/5 of the number launched on the first day. And it seems that they have used up a lot of their ballistic missiles as well. Before the conflict, Iran was known to have about 750 to 1,000 missiles capable of striking Israel, and by this point, they've already used up about 1/3 of them. Israel has also attacked Iran's ballistic missile storage facilities, significantly reducing their stockpile, according to analysis. Israel continued airstrikes on a missile base in the Shiraz area, with reports indicating minimal damage to the facilities. Analysis of satellite images shows no evidence of destroyed buildings or vehicles despite continued Israeli airstrikes on the facility. This facility was reportedly used for repairing, manufacturing, and storing Iran's ballistic missiles. The Israeli military attacked numerous ballistic missile and drone storage facilities, and they are also seen attacking a group called Shahid Meisami, which is responsible for Iran's chemical weapons development program. The Israeli military also killed Iran's newly appointed chief of staff. It is said that just 4 days after being appointed, the Israeli military killed him in an airstrike. Airstrikes continue to kill targeted high-ranking officials. The Iranian military has also taken action in response. The Iranian military launched between 3 and 48 warhead missiles at Israeli forces. The scale shrinks as time passes. On this day, the Iranian military conducted an airstrike targeting the Mossad headquarters, resulting in some damage. It seems the Israeli military's data center was damaged, and a missile landed near the Mossad headquarters. Ballistic missiles also caused damage at the Israeli Military Intelligence School. However, since the Israeli government is not disclosing these damages, the exact extent of the damage has not yet been confirmed. Since June 13, the Iranian military has reportedly launched over 545 drones in active operations. However, it takes more than 2 hours for these drones to travel from Iran to Israel. Because of this, most of the drones can't even reach Israel and are intercepted in places like Jordan. Even if they do enter Israel or the United Kingdom, most of them are intercepted. There's only one reason why Iran is sending these drones. They're meant to act as a kind of decoy so that Israel's air defense systems focus on the drones. If Israel's air defense systems take the bait, that's when they launch ballistic missiles to attack Israel. Consequently, they caused significant damage and exposed a major flaw in Israel's air defense system. Unknown errors caused some interceptor missiles in Israel's air defense system to turn toward the ground and fall on Israeli territory instead of intercepting their targets, leading to repeated accidents. It's essential to investigate the root cause of this issue moving forward. That wraps up the briefing. Thanks.